Studio 274A presents Baking Brownies, and here's today's host, Zach Wellerman, with a recipe.
Welcome to Baking Brownies. Last week we looked at triple fudge brownies, and today we're going to look at how to make something different, more or less chocolate. They're called blonde brownies, and they look a lot different and because of their lighter tone. And you start by, you're going to melt a stick of butter, and I've already melted the butter, and it just takes about 10 to 15 seconds in the microwave. And then you're going to add a cup of light brown sugar. And just use a small measuring cup and shake the sugar down to make sure it's even and crush all the rocks. And it should be about a cup. And then this is the part where you're going to crack the egg. And it's probably safer to do it in another bowl. That way you avoid getting shells in there for the crunchiness. But if you're better at cracking eggs, you don't have to. And then you're going to stir this mixture for now. And after it's been stirred, you're going to grab some flour and measure a cup of that. And treat it just like the sugar. Make sure it's even at a cup. And you can use the same measuring cup. And plop it in the bowl. And second, you're going to use the salt. To get a teaspoon of that. And make sure that's even with the mark on the spoon, and pour it in as well. And the next step is the baking powder. You're going to need a teaspoon of that as well to make sure everything bakes well. And after you've done that, you can begin mixing that mixture, and soon after we get back, after the commercial, we'll show you the final step. Have you ever felt constantly tired after studying all night long? Bob has been staying up a lot to complete his assignments.
What's wrong with you?
Go back.
Just been studying all night. It's not working.
You should try Quick Boost energy pills. I felt better the next day.
I think I'll try it.
The next day, Bob felt much more awake. Quick Boost energy pills for college students on the move. Welcome back. Last time on the show, we were just finishing up the baking powder, flour, and salt mixture into the egg, butter, and sugar mixture. And this should make, when you're stirring this, it should become more solid and appear more like a cookie dough, but it'll still bake like a brownie. And you probably come out with a lot less of mixture, it appears, so you could always double it to make more brownies and just double everything. So to finish it off, you're gonna use the same teaspoon from all the salt and the baking powder and shake everything off from that. Pour the vanilla carefully in there. And it's okay if you just overdo it a little, it'll just make it taste more vanilla to get the blonde taste instead of the chocolate taste. And an optional thing is you can always put nuts in the brownies, just like with any other brownie. But in this case, I normally don't, but just to see what it looks like, you can just put a cup's worth of them. Or if you don't like a lot of nuts, just put a few or sprinkle some in there. And keep that even with the measurement as well. It's like with other. And then you would stir both the vanilla and nuts into the brownies. If you're not using nuts, it would just be stirring the vanilla. And after that, your brownies will be ready for the pan that you want to use. In this case, I used a square pan, and it's disposable and everything, so it's good for parties. And first you're going to want to spray it with some cooking spray. That way it won't stick to the pan whenever you want to grab some brownies right out of the pan. And this is the part where you use your spoon or whatever, spatula or something to scrape it out. And it's very thick, and you just have to spread it out across whatever pan you're using. And be careful not to miss the pan, because then you're losing brownies. And just if it hasn't spread out completely yet, just spread it across the pan with your spoon. And whatever is left over, you can always eat on your own, the brownie batter. And preferably you would probably want to set your oven to before cooking, but you would set it to 350 degrees and cook it for 25 minutes. And that's all for today, really. Next week we're going to check out cookie doughs and check out more on the website.